It's going to be an adjustment for all of us.
Yeah, I think for all of us. I think it's
think.
going to be hard for Bert.
Yeah.
It's going to be really hard for Bert, I think. I'm okay with it. I want her to go off and struggle a little bit and suffer a little bit, even though the suffering obviously is nothing compared to what real suffering is. But
right.
For her to fail, maybe not fail class per se, but fail in some way and figure it out, and to be homesick and to figure it out. And that's this time. I think what I want to impart to Georgia is your 20s are like all new things filled with magic and tragedy and difficulty and struggling, because your 20s, to me, your 20s is your steepest learning curve, because you're learning to adult.
Yeah.
You're learning to work, not work a summer job, not scoop ice cream at Baskin Robbins. Work. You're learning to craft a career. Even if you're starting out as a waitress, figuring out what your other career is, you're starting to craft your life. There's so much hard work that happens in your 20s that no one prepared me for it. No one sat down and went, let me tell you what this decade's about. But in retrospect, when I look back at my 20s, my whole life today is built on all of those positive and negative experiences, and there were a lot of both. So maybe that's one thing I'll have a talk with Georgia about, is to look at your 20s, to look at this phase of your life as really the building blocks of your whole life. And you're not going to build everything in the 4 years of college.
Right.
You're going to build everything in the decade. In that 20s, it's really 12 years.
Yeah.
It's 18, 19, and your whole 20s. When I was in acting school, this teacher said, any profession, medical, plumber, actor, any profession takes 10 years to build. And if it happens before 10 years, it usually doesn't last. So if you know in your brain it's going to take 10 years to build that, then you can relax and enjoy the journey and not think, when I graduate college, I have to have a 6-figure job and I have to get married and I have to blah, blah, blah. But if you know that it's around 10 years to get anything built, then you can maybe just be curious about the building and take it in as it comes and be able to evaluate it in a different way. It was a really cool and profound thing that she said. So because she said it in saying that if you can't see yourself struggling as an actor for 10 years, you should go find something else to do.
Right.
And I was like, well, I could totally do that, because at the time I loved what I was doing, but look what I transitioned into.
Yeah.
I left acting and went into writing and loved that so much more, and then transitioned into something else and then transitioned into something else. But if I had never done those things, I would never be here.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I'm going to talk to Georgia about that. And tell her
that's
that.
super smart.
Even, I talked to Paulina Pinsky about this, about her sobriety. I actually talked to her about this in the driveway after our podcast.
Figures. Yeah.
I know, right? We were talking about her sobriety, and she's been sober for 7 months now, 6 months, 5 months, somewhere along there. And I told her the story of the 10-year, anything takes a decade.
Yeah.
So I was like, so really, if you think about sobriety, really being strong in your sobriety, taking a decade, you can relax and not be rushed through this first year.
Right.
So if you go, it's going to take me 10, I better relax.
Yeah.
And she was like, that helps me so much.
Yeah.
To think, if this is going to take me 10 years, then I just got to sit back.
Then I'm just a baby.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. And you're going to make mistakes and you're going to learn lessons. And anytime you learn something new, it's really hard. And think about all the things you learn new in your 20s.
Yeah.
It's everything. It's everything. You know?
Yeah. They know nothing.
They know nothing.
Yeah. So
it's just such a powerful time in their life. I think it's the most important time, in my opinion.
Yeah.